It's the end of the week. We used to say TGIF. Phew. How is it going, everybody? Right now we're living in an absolutely insane asylum of a country. How are you holding up? We're living in an insane asylum of a country. Can I get a witness? Oh my word. It's not easy, but we're together. It's extreme. It's extreme chaos. Where do I begin? You're so confused about the crowns on here. I keep on hearing about these purple crowns in the chat, and I don't see them. So sorry about that, because I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm glad the videos keep you sane. That's my intent. To let us know that we're not alone. Really important. Okay, I have tea leaves. I have my fake beer. Crack a cold one. Grab a drink. We're going in. Jan is watching in Chicago, where you are visiting? Oh, cool. Where are you from? Terry's here. It's Friday. I'm working on processing today's news. You're enjoying the classes, good. I hope the one that I just did out at the that state park, I hope it came out good. You didn't know that I was going to mention what? The fires? Yeah, I saw the news that Canada's burning up. From Kansas City, Kansas. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. How's Stephen Miller doing today? Did he say goodbye to his wife and Elon today? I was talking to Kathy earlier. And I was asking her, isn't there a movie where at the end the evil perpetrators just started turning on each other? That's what we're bearing witness to. They're turning on one another. Let's hope that the Wi-Fi works okay tonight. It's having some quirkiness. Who punched Elon? Who punched Elon in the eye? These people are such low life that they throw their 5-year-old children under the bus. Are we watching a horror movie? I'm really working on kind of trying to figure it out. Steve Elon and that woman were having. I don't want that visual. The White House reminds you of Animal Farm. My sense is that it was Stephen Miller. I know that some people are saying, and reportedly him and Scott Besson got into it, but I don't think that that's true. And I'm going to use these tonight. They're easier to find than my pendulum. Lord of the Flies. Yeah, Lord of the Flies. That's what Kathy said. They're turning on each other. Who punched Elon? He blamed it on his kid, who's 5. I mean, let's think about this. Can a 5-year-old kid punch a grown man in the face, hit his eye with that much force to give him a black eye? He said his kid was 5 years old. You're right, his kid is 3. The one that he totes around with him, and I'm surprised that he wasn't with him. What's with how they hold their hands, code language? They're just weirdos. Okay. Damon saying he's alluding to Elon might be gay. All right. Okay. Was it Stephen Miller that punched him? That's a yes. That's a yes. It was Stephen Miller. I know you guys are saying no, it was Scott Besson, but I'm telling you, how do you know that the news is correct? That's why we're here. Linda Tesler is sending light from Vermont. Thank you. White River Junction, you're way up there. You can't believe the reports of Elon's drug use. Well, we knew that. The thing that's interesting is this stuff is happening so fast. Elon said it himself that Besant. No, let's put all the information out there. We'll sift through it. I heard in that horrible press conference where Dumpy's sitting like a walrus at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office. I'm so sick of seeing his ugliness sitting in that chair. And Elon was asked what happened. And okay, so we're gonna sift through this. Elon said that his son punched him. Some news report said that one of the people that was a witness, a news report said that Besant punched him in the face. Now, I'm having a hard time imagining that because Besant is kind of, I don't know, he doesn't seem like the type. I'll just say that. And, yeah, Elon said it was his son. Stephen Miller's wife just ran off with Elon. So it stands to reason his electric car hit him. It makes the most sense that it was Stephen Miller. And that's what the rods are saying. Is this administration going to be held accountable for their criminality? I should probably explain. I don't use these very much, but since I keep losing my pendulums, that is a strong yes. Going like this is yes. When they cross in front of me, it's no. This administration will be held accountable. This regime. Let's see. The press conference was abhorrent. And I really think that we have to be clear and honest with one another. That this is unacceptable. Thomas is back. Yay! Yay, Thomas. There is a psychic party tomorrow evening for members. Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern. Rose, it's not like I don't have a lot of pendulums. I just keep moving them. Here's the thing that really gets us, I think. Why is nobody stopping them? Why is it just getting worse and worse and worse without letting up? And honestly, I think the divine reason for that is that we all get involved in what's happening in this country, and we no longer sit by and say, oh, someone else will handle it, because we see how that's going. This is the beginning of the end and the end of the beginning. What? This is the beginning of the end and the end of the beginning. June, July, August, going from bad to worse. Celtics here, that's not very clear. Let me just figure out what to ask. Okay, let's ask about the the results of the fallout from that horrible presser. And then I saw this presentation that Elon was giving about going to Mars. Well, he just sent up another rocket ship that exploded, that was a failure. And he's talking about populating Mars by the year 2027. He's talking about sending people to Mars to populate Mars. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell, and there's no one there to raise them if you did. Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 cards about the aftermath of that. That was nutty. The truth is coming out. You can't even make a movie that's this crazy. You can't. The fallout from that. The question I'm asking about is the fallout from that disaster of whatever that was with Elon. I guess he's supposed to be leaving. Dumpy was making no sense as usual. So the aftermath is a waterfall of BS. I always say with the MAGAs that if you talk to a MAGA like gung-ho Trumpster, which I don't even know why anyone would find him the least bit appealing, but it is a cult, you get a waterfall of lies. So the aftermath of that is, oh my God, it's only fueling, it's just fueling, it's making it like, oh my God. Like, I don't mean literally, but the country is on fire with insanity. So the aftermath of that is, whoa, they're just drowning. They're drowning. And the American public is getting very, 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 very angry. It's adding fuel, that added fuel to the fire. Anybody who's not livid about what is going on, what they are doing to our government, is definitely not paying attention. So the aftermath is people are enraged at the ocean of lies, the ocean of gaslighting, saying one thing, oh, we're going to cut your taxes, while actually what they're doing is they're stealing all of our money. It's bad. Let's take a look at Elon. We'll read the deck of character. Let's take a look at Elon. You're in a permanent state of anger. You're not even in the States. How do you think we feel? The aftermath for Elon of all the, I mean, this news came out, I think it was the New York Times. Sandra, that's not factual that the cult hasn't woken up yet. We don't do absolutes here. You don't know that that's a fact, that the cult isn't waking up. I've seen a lot of houses and vehicles that had Trump flags and Trump bumper stickers that are gone. Should you leave the U.S. or prepare to leave just in case your democracy is lost? That's not my call. Hey, John. I'm pulling 3 cards about the fallout for Elon today. The fallout for Elon. At your spiritual group at the VA Center, you had a lively discussion about anger, right? So people are really, really angry. So the fallout for Elon. Oh, interesting. This is like Elon just like, it's like, I'm falling. He's trying to hang on to some semblance of sanity. Thank you, Terry. There's a blessing in disguise here. I'm asking about the fallout for Elon. There's a blessing in disguise. Good for you, Kat. I'm staying and fighting. I'm in a red state. It won't be read for very much longer, believe me. Stay safe, Darren. Possible tornado. You'll be okay. So as far as what's going on with Elon, see, this is like, you know, trying to hang on, but he's losing it. He's losing his mind. There was a time in the not too distant past that I mentioned, I don't have any love for Elon, believe me. But I was concerned. I thought he needed a wellness check. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Karen, I think Elon needs a wellness check. But, you know, I mean, I think he's not well, and I think he's going to be having a hard time. But there's a gift in his collapse. There's a gift for us, because we're going to get more and more information about what was going on. Now, let me tell you something. I really do think that they're going to get so mad at one another that they're going to start outing one another. I'm going to ask the pendulum, well, the rods, about that. Are they going to start telling on each other? Yeah, that's a strong yes. They're going to start telling on each other. That ought to be interesting. And Elon is busy with Steve Miller's wife. The Rod said that Stephen Miller punched him. Thank you, Moonstone Girl. So apparently the join button is working. We have a psychic party once a month at the end of the month for members, and members have access to the classes that I'm teaching. So consider joining. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna tell on each other. Yeah. I was born in Muskegon, Michigan, Moonstone Girl. That's where my dad was from. I'm going to choose some of these cards, the Psychic Tarot. And I'm actually going to ask about the strength of the Democrats. Have you guys been getting outside? I must say, I was really craving the great outdoors and temperate temperatures. It's been really nice. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about how the Democrats in our Congress are doing right now. There's Stephen Miller's wife taking drugs too. She must be if she's going with Elon. A lot of them are on drugs, and I know for sure that in Nazi Germany, they were on drugs too. Okay, I'm reading about the Democrats in our Congress. Thank you, Terry, for putting the question up. The Democrats are really coming into their power. The Democrats in our Congress are really coming into their power. I just want you to know to send them a lot of positive energy. And also, make sure you do the meditations from the Thursday night. Yeah, Elon looked high as a kite. I agree. So this is positive for the Democrats. This is financial and material changes. Okay. I'm going to ask if that means the financial changes, the financial and material changes. I want to say something about the murder bill. No matter what happens with the murder bill, that they call the big beautiful bill, but it's actually a murder bill. No matter what happens, it's not going to last. But I keep telling you it's dead on arrival. Are the Democrats going to make sure that the murder bill gets killed? Yes. Kill the murder bill! Yes, they're going to make sure that it gets killed. It's the murder bill. Or I call it the cruelty, the CNN bill, the cruelty and murder bill. Because that's what it is. And there was, is it Joni Ernst? Is that her name? representative, is she in Iowa? I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know. Was literally at her town hall saying that, oh, we're all gonna die. Making light of it. What if it was her mother or father? So I guess I probably need the nefarious cards. I'm gonna read on the MAGAs in Congress, where they're at. Senator of Iowa, did you hear her say that? And good for the people that are really showing up now. Joni Ernst. What a piece of work. What an arrogant POS. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that shit. I keep asking my guides why it's so extreme, and the guides keep saying because it's this level of extreme that will make it a no choice situation but to stand up, to rise up, and like hundreds of millions of people and saying So the MAGAs in Congress who are planning to vote for this murder bill, I'm actually going to pull 3 cards to let you know what I pick up about their fate. Don't you love the way they're making regular people like you and me out to be criminals? This is the kind of stuff that's going to bring people out into the streets and into the town halls. Right? They're basically telling us all that you're all a bunch of crooks, right? And this is what's really getting on people's nerves. I just know it. It's getting on my nerves in a royal way. What they're doing, they're criming. They're committing the most heinous crimes. And speaking of heinous crimes, I know that Diddy knows about Dumpy. Diddy knows about Dumpy. Anyway, they're committing the most heinous crimes, and so infuriating. And as they're committing these heinous crimes, they're pointing at we, the American people, and the immigrants, hardworking immigrants, who are getting their citizenship, who are, going through the asylum process or whatever it is that particular thing they're going through. Good people. These assholes are in our government stealing medical care from people who need it and saying, oh yeah, you're all criminals. What is Doge? What have they uncovered? What is the fraud? Has anybody seen any of this so-called fraud? Have they presented any evidence of all this stealing that's going on? Has anybody seen anything? A document? A receipt? Some proof? Some evidence? No numbers. Nothing. MAGAs in Congress. It's just a matter of time. They're missing the opportunity to do right, that's for sure, and the 4 of Wands. The MAGAs in Congress that are planning to vote for the murder bill are leaning into each other. Send John Ossoff money, definitely do. Yeah, he's pardoning real criminals. So what I see them doing, the MAGAs in Congress, is in their fearful state, they're forming a bubble around themselves so that they can be supporting one another, voting for people to die. It's a death sentence, what they're trying to do. Yeah, they're actually bonding together and telling each other, it'll be okay, just vote for the bill. They are scared. And it's just a matter of time before the weight of what they are trying to do just comes like... There's this really terrible way of torturing people, and from the dark ages like the 1600s, where they press a person to death. That's the kind of thing that I feel like they're feeling. They're feeling massive pressure. Well, let's see. Are enough MAGA Republicans feeling enough pressure to change their minds? I have a yes. I have a yes. Is it pressure from their constituents? They don't want to face their constituents with what they don't want to face it. Senate Leader Toon went to Moscow in 2018. It's all shaken down. It's all shaken down. It is. You think the regime already has many, many, many deaths on their heads? Oh, definitely. Yogi Bear says, I've got rods, but they only find water. Yeah, the torturer would put heavy objects on the. There would be like a wooden door or something, and they put heavy rocks to press them. I just feel that the Republicans are under that kind of pressure. The MAGA Republicans. What happens to the seniors who have no family to go to? I think I just mentioned it. Joni Ernst said, "We're all gonna die." These people are monsters. Absolute monsters. You're just baffled that the Red Hat's going to vote even though they're family members who are so sick or disabled. I don't really understand that statement. All right, 3 cards about Dumpy. 3 of these cards about Dumpy. I'm going to ask specifically about what with his mental derangement being evident. How do you fix a broken tuba with a tuba glue? We missed you, Thomas. Yeah, actually, let's ask that because I'm asking about Dumpy. How is he doing with his new nickname? This nickname is going to stick. Taco Don is going to stick. I really do. Whenever I tune into him, I feel the walls closing in. This is the United States against the Donald. This is January 6th. He's an insurrectionist. And the United States versus the Donald. This is telling me that the federal judicial system is not going to back down. Not in the least little bit. And the 4 of Swords, that indicates very bad health. This is the United States. This is. I really feel Judge Chutkin like it's still on her mind. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. The 4 of Swords is he's very ill. He's not doing well at all. Let's ask the Rods. Are people going to take him out of public eye? No. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just thinking the people around Dumpy will maybe be able to sequester him away and be out of the public. No, it's not happening. We're still going to see his derangement. His heinousness, right, Terry? Terry came up with that one a couple of years ago. Please hit the thumbs up. I forgot to remind everybody. Yeah, okay, so now let's look at this hardened criminals. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to hide him. Yeah, Musk admitted to taking ketamine and other drugs. You forgot that nickname? You came up with it, Terry. His heinousness. Did you hear about the guy who drank 8 Cokes? He burped 7 up. Yeah. All right. Three cards. Well, let's ask about, let's do this. I didn't define the question just yet. Okay. I'm going to pull three cards about what happens when we find out, when we have the receipts that he stole the election. I'm just going there. What happens when we have the receipts that he stole the election with Elon's help and with the help of the Kremlin? He's gonna get very sick at that point. They're gonna find out who he's been in bed with. The strength of the case that he stole the election is definitely there. Yeah, and I looked up and I saw Kelly put all the receipts are out there. They are. The like button is working tonight. Good. Let's get 200 thumbs up and we'll do a group hug as soon as that happens. Yeah, it looks, so the question is, what's going to happen to Dumpy once the evidence comes out that he cheated with Elon and the Kremlin's help and he didn't win the election? We got a Russian taco on the run. Okay, so Four of Swords, that man is so sick. And he sits in the chair in the Oval Office and he doesn't get up because he's having problems. He's definitely having problems. So the strength of the case against him and who he colluded with, he's still saying, Russia, Russia, Russia. Oh yeah, these cards are gruesome. Definitely there. They're called Magician's Tarot. I've shown you this before. Give credit where it's due. Great cards. Let's ask about Stephen Miller, shall we? You know what's so funny is that I have read, because I read past lives, I definitely have gotten that he was Joseph Goebbels. But I'm not the only one saying that. I hear people even like on YouTube channels, like pro-democracy channels, that are referring to him that way. People with dementia have trouble standing up. Let's ask if that's what it is. I think it's lower intestinal issues. Is it lower intestinal issues? Oh, not as much. Okay. Is it dementia? It's more the dementia. What I picked up on too, in terms of why he's always sitting there like a walrus, is that he gets vertigo. Yeah, very, very strong. Yes, he gets vertigo. I hardly ever use these rods, but they sure are working. Is it associated with having had a stroke that he needs to be sitting down? Yes. Yeah, Lisa, I read on that. Yeah, it looks like it was Stephen Miller. He's sitting on a porta potty. Mary, you're funny. That was kind of the feeling that I had. Is he sitting on a porta potty? That's kind of wonky. It's not saying no. We'll just leave that there. Okay. Compost toilet. Let's read on the celebrities. Let's do that. Let me remind you, if the join button is showing up, because it doesn't seem to show up all the time, you can become a member, and that means you're invited to the psychic party tomorrow night. Yes, awesomeness. I know that he wears diapers. Let's read on Kamala. Let's first read on Kamala, and then we'll read on the celebrities. He swings his arms when he stands, Dumpy does? Yeah, it's weird. He's weird. These are weird, weird people. The thing that's so fascinating, and Stephen King, the author, we all know who Stephen King is. He lives in Maine. Yeah, I'll read on Kamala first, since you just put that up there. Stephen King said he couldn't even make up a character, and this was years ago, that was as heinous as Dumpy. I'll read on Kamala first. Kamala's having dry martinis with stuffed olives, perhaps. He's animated by Satan, yeah, definitely true. Okay, I'm gonna read on Kamala. Michael's being gross. Okay, I can't be thinking about Johnny diapers. Kamala, new beginnings, intuition. I read on Kamala the other night, and I got that there were people that were lifting her up and getting her ready. You have a Stephen King t-shirt with a list of all his books. It must be quite long. That guy's a workhorse. But he said that he couldn't even, and this was during Dumpy 1. Stephen King said that he couldn't even make up a character that was that awful. That's saying a lot. So I'm reading on Kamala, and I have new beginnings. Hello, hello, hello. New beginnings. Michael's going to have an old fashioned. He's going to start drinking. Partnerships and alliances. And intuition. I have this sense that Kamala is sitting back and looking at all that's happening and going, No, we're not going to have this too much longer. Your ex look like Stephen King. I really love Stephen King. I hate horror movies and stories, but I really respect him. Let's read on the celebrities. Let's read on the celebrities. I feel like I want to read. Okay. So apparently, I think it was it Pearl? No. Who was it that spoke out? Bruce Springsteen, Bono. I don't know if Taylor Swift spoke out. Kamala's not going to step into this mess. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about she's going to be in the presidency. Joyce Matthews, don't you want somebody who's a born leader with experience and intelligence and compassion? We'd help her. We need her. You bet Hillary and Kamala talk a lot about what happened to them. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm reading on right now is the celebrities. I'm going to get out there and start playing my songs. You bid me for president? Okay. I am really, yes, president, she was cheated just like Hillary. Not in the same way, but similar. Just like Hillary was cheated. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about Taylor Swift is flying high and very happy right now. All her masters were sold back to her. Her dream came true. Oh, that's great. That's really great. I'm telling you, the celebrities are inspiring me to get out there. So it is contagious. These cards are flipped all around. 3 cards about the effect of that, of the celebrities pushing back. Oh no, this many cards wanted to come up. It's kind of like a club. It's kind of like the celebrity club. Rosie O'Donnell, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jane Fonda spoke out. Yeah, there's lots and lots more too. So they're actually uniting. The artist Neil Young spoke out. The egg, it's barely begun. The pushback has barely begun. The celebrities remind us of what we dream can happen, and they're not okay with Donald Trump stealing the valor. I'm going to just put it that way. They're not okay. These are the celebrities against Trump. Maybe that'll be the name of an organization. Celebrities Against Trump. Cat. Where do you find a cow with no legs? Right where you left it. Do I think if anything happens to Dumpy, like take a dirt nap, the administration pull Dave the movie? I'm not really sure what that means. Okay. Celebrities Against Trump. I think they should use that. I think I just coined a phrase for an acronym for the celebrities. They will be very active because Dumpy is stealing everything. And they're checking their moral compass. The reason for art is to communicate important messages. The reason for art, for the arts, is to inspire and uplift people. The movie Dave replaced the president with a lookalike. Oh, I see. I didn't see that movie. Someone mentioned that Trump never won against a man. That's confusing. We're getting ever so closer to 200 thumbs up. I feel like I'm forgetting to ask about something really important. Let me see. Oh, I want to ask about Diddy. And I want to ask about all these pardons. Imagine a golden dome of white light of love in the Western Hemisphere. Okay. I'm pulling 3 cards on this Diddy thing. 3 cards. And its effect on Dumpy. You know, he was asked about it at that horrible press conference today, and he did the same thing. Humbada, about Diddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I used to know him, but I've not seen him in a very long time. Gosh. Michael's got his cocktail. Good. We'll have a new constitution. Yes, we will have a new constitution. Absolutely, that is true. We will. Seven of Swords. Diddy's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. The women have a really... I'm not watching it. I'm not interested in watching it. I don't feel like polluting my psyche watching the Diddy trial. It's disgusting. It's horrible. Rose is popping the wine open. Let us know what you're doing to de-stress. Yes, Pope Leo is going to hold a mass for, I think he's live streaming it into, in Chicago at the baseball field, I think. Diddy's going to tell all about Epstein. Well, you know what? I really think that he will. I think that he will. Rose is drinking a beer. The Seven of Swords. I actually think that Sean Combs is angry that Dumpy has gotten away with so much and that he's sitting there in court. Not that he doesn't deserve to be sitting in there in court and rot in jail. But I think he's angry at Dumpy for not being, like, in the same position. So let's ask this. Is Diddy going to tell on Dumpy? Yes. Yes. The rods are saying, yes, Diddy's going to tell on Dumpy. And I think I got the same thing the other night. Yeah, the answer is affirmative. Michelle's having a blunt. You guys are hilarious. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. We're 10 thumbs up away. And I know the Wi-Fi was quirky for a little bit, but seems to be holding up. Clive Davis is going to tell on Dumpy. You think so? Is he still around? Okay. 3 cards on the fate of Elon. Elon's fate. Your voodoo doll worked on Jake Tapper's book? Yeah, let's send it some bad mojo. I don't know what happened to him. I did read on that recently. The fate of Elon. I think he should just go to Mars. You're swinging in your hammock in Scottsdale, Arizona at 100 degrees? Wow. Clive Davis is still around? No kidding. He must be ancient. Elon's fate. The Empress card is coming up again and again and again, which is indicating the United States, and it keeps on coming up to show us that the United States, in the face of all this insanity, we're actually getting stronger. I know it's hard to believe, but we are. It's true. Elon said he would not go to Mars until it was sustainable. Oh, he's going to send everyone else first? We hit 200 thumbs up, so we're going to do a group hug. Clive Davis is 93. Yeah, I knew he had to be up there. Okay. Clive Davis groomed Diddy. I don't know any of the details about that. As far as Elon goes, the 4 of Swords is he's very sick. The 6 of Pentacles is he's looking for somebody to save him, not financially, obviously. But I feel like Elon is in a desperate situation. I feel like he's a very bad addict and he needs support. I don't know if he'll ask for support, but he's very, very stressed. I feel like Miller's going to tell on Elon, and Elon's going to tell on Miller, and Elon's going to tell on Dumpy, and Dumpy's going to tell on Elon. I mean, it's insane. But he's definitely not well. I had the 4 of Swords for Dumpy too. Definitely not well. And the Empress is showing up, and I want you to know that the energy is in our favor. Because the American people are going to be stronger than ever. Everyone's going to throw everyone under the bus. Oh, by the way, the 3rd week in June, they're doing a reenactment of the Battle of Bunker Hill right here in Gloucester, Mass. Because they wanted to do it in Bunker Hill, Boston, but it's not. It's like all overrun with development and stuff. So I will record it. That's gonna be I think the 21st. The reenactment, but I'll do that. Okay. Who else do we have to look at? Let's do a group hug. The American Revolution, yes. Part of it was fought here, where I am. What about Putin? Will he tell Dumpy he's pretty pissed with him? Let's ask the rods. And then we'll do a group hug. Will Putin tell on Dumpy? Oh, yeah. You know, everything that I've read on Dumpy tonight, really bad. Really, really, really bad. Let's do a group hug. Let's do a group hug and keep in our minds that everything that we're doing, even energetically too, is really taking hold and powerful. No, the Pope's not going to Illinois. He's live streaming a mass on June 14th. Okay? Welcome to the chat, Lady Jane. So we're going to do a group hug, and we're going to think about all the hard work that we're all doing as a collective, taking hold, the light getting a strong hold on this country, the healing light. All right, and let's keep in mind the deportees, that they get returned, all the federal workers get returned, and that this administration, this regime is overthrown. And for everybody who's struggling, who's scared right now, let's hold them in a hug. 1, 2, 3. The light is getting a strong grip. And everybody who's struggling, we're holding you in this virtual hug. We're lifting each other up right now. All right, it's done. Good, good, good. Nice work, people. Oh, almost forgot I have tea leaves. Sometimes Rose reminds me that I have tea leaves. It will all be over very soon. We will have a lot of damage to repair. We will have a lot of damage to repair. Did you know that it's illegal to laugh out loud in Hawaii? You have to keep it to aloha. We did miss you, Thomas. That was a great hug. And when you see signs that things are starting to turn for the better, when you see signs that they're falling down, reinforce your thoughts about, we're getting out of this. We're getting out of this. It will take a long time to repair, but they need to be ousted. Okay. You know, it's really to the point too. It's like, what's going to happen over the weekend? I'll pull 3 cards about that, but we have tea leaves. Okay. We're getting there. Is Rudy still alive? I'm pretty sure. On Monday, I was going on about Russia has lost the war. We haven't seen the evidence of it, but I really, really, really do get that Russia has lost the war. We can pull some cards on that. Let's pull some of these cards on that. And just to kind of recap what's going to be happening over the weekend here on my channel. Off the Ledge is daily. Thank you for tuning into that. Please share if it's helpful to you, especially. And I'm doing PNN pop-ups every day. And please hit the thumbs up on those too. And subscribe. Rudy was shown with Trump's orange makeup today. No hair dye? Yikes. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the weekend. What to expect for the weekend. What do you call a man with a shovel dug? That's a good one. I'm actually just going to pull 3 cards about the weekend. Ah! We're going to find out somebody's going to jail because a measure of their criminality will be revealed. And we're going to be getting out our dancing shoes. I think we're going to just see more and more evidence that this is unsustainable. It's not going to work. Are you all following this? I'm reading about the weekend. All the criminality is being under surveillance. measured, jail cell. We're going to see more and more hints that that's the direction this is going. And we were talking about dancing in the streets the other day. I was going to read on Russia, so let's do this. With the current energy, is Russia losing the war? I didn't barely got the question out of my mouth. Yes, Russia is losing the war. We're owed Kamala and Tim Walz. Yes, we deserve to have Kamala and Tim Walz. And this is why people are so angry. It's like, what do we ever do to deserve being treated like we're criminals? And criminals being treated like they're like royalty. Give me a break. Really. Okay, we have tea leaves. Here we go. This is a snake. And that looks like somebody, that looks kind of like a little bit of a cat head. Kind of spying on the snake. This is news. This looks like it's about the European Union. I'm seeing action on Russia. That looks like a mother holding a baby. Once again, that's a rising of the divine feminine. That looks like, don't worry, it's not a mushroom cloud. But I feel like the things that have been undercover going on in Russia are gonna be revealed. Look at this. Isn't this interesting? This is really interesting because these tea leaves are moving up. There's an airplane. I keep on getting that something's going to happen with an airplane that's going to be noteworthy that has to do with Russia. I'm feeling like it's all the FAA accidents and everything. We're going to find out more about that. And that looks like a drone. There are airplanes here. This, I'm trying to figure out what that is. It looks almost like a totem pole. It does look like a tornado. I'm actually, everybody be careful over the weekend. I see some bad weather activity here. So be careful. Definitely there's airplanes. There's going to be a lot of news about airplanes. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out what that looks like a person with a headdress and a gun. I kind of feel like the energy of the American Revolution is really strong. What kind of tea do I use? I think this is called Assam tea, ASSAM. So yeah, this is, I feel like that's like a revolutionary soldier kind of, and the spirit energy of the revolutionaries is very much present with us. We are going to hear something about airplanes and what's been going on with the FAA and the airplanes. We may be hearing about legal matters being taken up about, you know, what this administration has done in gutting the FAA. Just had an alert for a tornado warning. I know, I just saw a tornado. It was right on the cup. Right, where was the tornado? It was right up here. I'm trying to see where I saw it. Oh, it was here. Yeah. Well, the weekend weather looks like it's going to be kind of bad, so be careful. But we really have to know that we have got to get global climate change under control, and we can't do it with this administration, with this fascist regime, who's just hell-bent on making it exponentially worse really quickly. So we all need to be working hard to save our lives. But we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Okay. Tomorrow night, there's a psychic party to join. Hopefully the join button is popping up. You can join for as little as $7.99 a month. And it'll be a video tomorrow that's set to members only. The other videos that are set to members only are 40 Days to Releasing Religious Guilt, 7 Days to Living Inspiration and Empowerment. That's my book. And the 5th day will be recorded tomorrow of How to Be Psychic. So that's all there. I'm doing everything I can, and I'd love it if you booked a reading. Psychic@netion.com. Let's get together. Let's do this. I'm listed in Best American Psychics directory because I'm one of the best American psychics. All right, and Sunday is Church of Spirituality. Please join us for that. If you're not watching Church of Spirituality, you're missing an opportunity to make your life better and to pray with us in intent. Thank you. See you soon. Namaste. Thanks, Rose, for the endorsement. Be safe. Good night.